should not be labeled as great yet, as you're only improving. What are your thoughts, and what is there to improve?
Gotta keep improving. I agree. I mean, that's the goal, to go from good to great, and we're not there yet. They're working towards it, but they will all tell you that, man, they understand there's more meat on the bones, as the saying goes. So for us, it's about having no missed tackles, having no miscues in the game, no points. I mean, again, Colts are going to obviously challenge us. They got quarterbacks playing really well. Their scheme is good. I think they're really well coached. Got a lot of respect for Shane. I think he does a really good job. The offensive line plays connected. It's going to be a challenge. So we're going to need our best. And it's going to have to be better than it was last week to go into Indy and beat them. So there's always room for improvement. As long as there's a practice, there's another game, there's room for improvement.
I know it's been 5 days, but how's that feel as a coordinator when your defense is playing that well on the field? How's that feel in that moment?
I'm going to be completely honest. That game is over, So as soon as I got in the shower, I was thinking about the Colts. Okay, how are they getting their explosive pass plays? How are they getting explosive runs? So again, if you dwell on anything in this league for too long, feel satisfied, get complacent, that's when you get passed by. So, I mean, you would have been better off catching me on the plane on Monday, but right now, just worry about the Colts and all the challenges they present, whether it's the tempo, the tight ends in terms of their vertical passing game, the receivers who are dangerous. I can't even tell you. I really haven't thought about it.
So before the shower, you can't recall how it felt before your shower? How it felt in that moment?
I smiled.
Are we still smiling though?
I'm smiling. It's Friday. Get to go see the family. I'm going to see the Roots tonight. I'm really smiling. Nothing can mess up my day today.
Speaking of the Colts, coach, how do you make them into one-dimensional? Because as you mentioned, those deep balls are, obviously one of their key.
Well, it starts with the running game with them. The backs are dynamic. Home run. One, they run hard. They run between the tackles. They can make you pay outside on the edge, and they're tough tackles. But it all starts with the running game, which is why I'm so impressed with their scheme and how well coached they are. And then they have these perimeter receivers, including also their tight ends, where they can stretch the field. So to get them one-dimensional, you got to start with the run game, because that's the thing. They'll keep running the ball regardless. So if you don't stop the run game, you're in for a long day. So that's where we got to start. It starts right there. Stop the run game with good edges, getting off the blocks, and tackle. They're tough tackles.
Hobbs has brought up a couple of times that you asked the guys to be great, not good. Is there a moment where you notice them flip the switch and just be like taking it to another level?
As a teacher who happens to teach football, it's their game. The Raiders, football, it's all about the players. That's how I approach it. I'm here as a coach to help teach them football, help guide them, put them in the right spots. And then when you see where they're at, okay, then you challenge them. And the challenge was, can we go from being good to can we go to being great? What's great mean? Doing the things we're talking about every day and doing them better, doing them more consistently. And for them, I don't know if there's a switch per se, but there's a choice to be made. There's a choice to be great, because in order to be great, you got to put in the work. The thing we all talked about as a group, if we want to do that, it's going to be hard. If you want to be a great coach, yeah, that's fine, the idea of it, but you have to put the work in to be a great coach. Just like if you want to be a great reporter, it's not going to just come easy. You got to work at it. And our guys have embraced the work. They're having fun with the work. AP's done a great job of encouraging those guys. Have fun and work. And it's been really encouraging to watch them do that.
Speaking of the work, Jack Jones has been known to watch a lot of film. He's new to the team, but seems like he's a veteran of the Las Vegas Raiders. He's had back-to-back Big Six. How do you see his improvement and just his work ethic?
Everybody talks about the energy. That's good. The skill set. To make some of those plays, you're talking about a unique human being in terms of just athletic ability, quickness, his toughness that shows up, and then having the ball hawking trait that everybody doesn't have that. Thankfully, we have guys on the team that are like that. You're looking for guys when you're doing evaluations. You're looking for guys who are ball hawks. But in terms of the film study, he's always watching tape. I hope all of them are watching tape. Right now it's week 16. There's a lot of stuff on tape that you could get. You could get cues from what they're doing because they got that many games on tape. That's what we try to tell them. The more games they play, the more you get to know, and that's the information we have to use as a defense, as we're out there responding and reacting to what they do, because they know their play, can you eliminate the variables? That's the main thing. That's how you got to play defense. Can I eliminate the variables by backfield set, by formation? Then I can play faster.
The average age of your secondary on the active roster is 25 years old. It's a pretty young unit. How have they been able to become a group that has been a strength of the team instead of a weakness like in previous years?
Not worried about previous years. It's all about 23. 44 is young too, still, just to be sure. 44
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Is still young. But youth, it doesn't really matter whether it's a rookie, second year, 10 year. It's all about how you perform on Sundays. And how do you get there? It's your preparation. It's the work you put in practice. So whether you're 21 years old or you're 35 years old, you get judged on what you do on Sunday, and that comes from the work. So, you know, a lot of these guys made decisions when they were 13-year-old kids that they wanted to try to get a college scholarship. So they put the work in for that. And they got to college and they decided they want to be professional athletes. They had to put work in for that. So it's nothing new to them, I would say. And I mean, again, I always talk about that's something that you got to acknowledge about this generation, about these guys. I mean, they're 20-something years old and the best in the world at what they do. I wasn't that good when I was 20-something years old at coaching. I mean, I wouldn't hire me from when I was 24 or 25 years old. Right now, I wouldn't let me coach anything.
Coach, the defense kind of showed a little bit of a new personality, a little bit of an attitude against Kansas City. How do you continue that over the last few weeks of the season?
I would disagree about the new part of it. I mean, we follow our leader, which is Max. I mean, Max has been the best thing about Max to me, aside from all the stuff he does in the community, his leadership on the field, his leadership in the classroom, his leadership in the weight room, is that he's the most consistent player I've been around in my career. Just consistently, always doing his best, always challenging, and his toughness. I mean, he's been tough since I watched him when he was in college. So Max is our leader. It is what it is. Spillane's one of the leaders. They're all tough guys, and they're all tough guys who are relentless, who love the game of football, who want to, in terms of play the game the right way. So we just follow him, and I get out of the way and it's their defense and let them play. And again, Monday was a good example of it, but I would say that we've seen that because I don't think Max would have it any other way. And then when it didn't meet the standard, I'm sure myself, Max, AP, everybody, when Josh was here, had something to say about it. But Max is the leader. He's the catalyst for that, and you're not gonna find anybody more consistent than him.
Coach, a follow-up question of when you talk about Max Crosby, him being a leader and the energy that these players have to match up to, get to Max's level. This past week we saw what Antonio Pierce mentioned, 11 hunters. How do you keep that consistency? Because we've seen it in Max, but can we see it in the rest of the defense?
The thing I love about coaching and dealing with professional athletes at this level, all they want from you is honesty. So if they're doing it, good. When it doesn't show up, you tell them. Like, is that what we want it to look like? We made an agreement that we wanted to look a certain way. We wanted to look right. We wanted to sound right. We wanted to feel right. So when it's not there, my job, part of my job as a teacher is to say, hey, this is an example where we're not doing what we talked about. And they respond. They're professional athletes. They just want the truth. They want honesty with them. Tell them the truth. And they respond. Again, I told you, I got nothing but respect for them. They're so young and they make these hard choices. They got to make split-second decisions out there, going 19 miles an hour. It's amazing what they do. I love my job.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.